I've also had questions around like research and development within the sector as well that you've been trying to push and promote. Is that true?
Yes, we have our own. One of the benefits of scale we mentioned before is we have our own internal research department. So we have people who, with postgraduates and PhDs who that they've got a great saying that when you ask the chap what he does for a living, he says, "I read things so you don't have to." And so we gather all the available information, peer-reviewed work product. We present at conferences. So we are very much wanting to lead not just the thought leadership, but the application of actual peer-reviewed evidence-based therapies into practice and practical applications. It's why sometimes we've taken the hard decision to end certain therapies, because there were certain things that we thought we couldn't justify on a peer-reviewed basis that actually added real technical value. And so those are the sorts of decisions that organisations like us and many others will need to make around what can we afford to fund, what is good practice, and how do we demonstrate good practice. One of the challenges that I've seen coming into the industry is the industry, I think, has work to do on describing and demonstrating what quality looks like. And I think moving forward in the scheme, I think that's something that both the organisations like NDIS and AFA can be very valuable, and organisations, the larger not-for-profits, can assist the government in understanding what quality looks like and then hopefully pricing for quality. I think one of the benefits of the bill before us is that I actually have more confidence in a ministerial pricing model or ministerial control than the agency one-size-fits-all. And I think that there's a danger in that we treat 1 hour of service the same in every location all the time. It's just not true. And I do think that there's an opportunity with that change in pricing dynamic to seek to solve some of the thin market problems by potentially going to commissioning and those sorts of things, where we know that an hour of service from an occupational therapist in Boulia is very, very different from an hour in Richmond in Melbourne, in suburban Melbourne. They are fundamentally different prices. They are different challenges. We should work with that price modelling to make sure that those people in Boulia have access to the same types of therapy that someone in Richmond and Melbourne does, but understand that that service needs to be viable. And I think this committee's also heard from the therapists as well, the OTs, the speechies, those guys. They need to be viable. And I think a dynamic pricing arrangement that's more understandable, more adaptable, is better for the system and better for the scheme overall, to make sure that you have the range of providers that are qualified in delivering those fantastic services that are truly viable at the same time. But by comparison or by analogy, holding pricing steady for 5, 6, 8 years demonstrates that provider is on a crash course to determining whether they stay in the industry or not. And I think you've heard testimony yourselves about the challenges with physios, OT, speechies, exiting the industry. And you've seen other service sectors within the scheme doing the same thing. Support coordination is another one. Support coordination, we are one of the largest providers of support coordination in the nation now. We are currently in discussion with 7 different groups, with them trying to exit the industry and exit support coordination entirely. It's unsustainably priced. It hasn't had a price increase for many, many years, while our actual increase, our prices, our staff wages, everything else has gone up. So something has to give on that. And I think dealing with a minister who's accountable rather than an agency that's relatively faceless gives the industry and the scheme the best chance for being sustainable long term.
Thanks, Mr. Bell. Thank you, Chair.